Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Cubase Elements 10. Today I'm going to show you a few things about making your system work faster for you. If you've noticed your desktop always shows through here, you can turn that off by double clicking the title bar, but this background usually doesn't stay like that. And next thing I'm going to do is bring up the hub here and show you, where you keep your Cubase projects, your songs, could be on an external hard drive or on your C drive, main drive, which I don't recommend that at all, especially if you have an SSD drive, because when SSD drives go bad, I'm in IT, it's very hard to recover that data off of there. So it's good to have yourself like a old-fashioned spinning SATA drive with platters in it, and use that, or an external USB or FireWire, whatever you have. The way to get the default path to the projects folder, like this one is on D, because I have it set up to go to that old-fashioned SATA drive. It's like a 1 terabyte. You just click this and then select where you want it to go. So this 1 terabyte blue is where I have it, and I have it in here under Documents and Cubase. You just select that once and then make the name for your project folder, or else it's going to be called Untitled. And then next time you open up Cubase, it will be set to this path. There's nothing else to do. So I'm just going to open up a song here that I made last night, and we'll talk about some of the things here that are going on in this song. So a couple of things is the transport bar is not showing on the bottom, so I'm just going to come up here to the setup window layout and click transport bar, and then it will show up down here. Yours won't have as many things on it, but you can make it have more of these controls on here by going to this cog and turning on as many things as you want. I like to load it up so that I have just about everything there that I can deal with. So a few things that are going on in here with the timeline is I have these clips set to musical mode, and the way to bring up the control bar for that is press Ctrl I, like Irene on your keyboard, and then you click the clip and make sure that musical is turned on. And it's still looking for a way that when you record a clip that it's automatically changed to musical, because if it's not, then if you change the tempo of the song, it's not going to follow it. Also, if you bring up your media bay over here, and I have a file browser, and there's a lot of loops that I have here. There's a button right here. It says Align Beats to Project. If you do that, then when you drag them in here, like I'll just drag this one in, then it's automatically going to be set to musical mode. So then you can change the tempo, and then this clip will change along with it. So I'm going to press Shift and Delete, get rid of that demo track there. Another thing about this is you can also change the pitch, transpose your clips by one semitone up and down at a time, and then fine tune it to what you want it to be. So that pretty much covers that. There's a feature too, like let's say that you're playing along here, you really can't tell, like it's highlighting with the cursor and showing me how long these clips are. But what if I wanted to see these clips playing as the playhead goes over, that it would actually select it like this? Well, how you do that is go into the edit and check off auto select events under cursor. So now when I play this, the track that I have selected is going to highlight the clip when it's going over it. So that's a handy feature, so you can see, what's playing on what track that you have selected. You might be playing a lead down here and you want to be able to see that. Now let's talk a little bit about the punch in and punch out. I covered this in another tutorial, but I don't think it was as in depth as we're going to go here. So what we want to do is, let's say there's a part here. I'm just going to put in a track, press T on the keyboard. Let's just say this is going to be a lead guitar 2 track. Just select that, it's down here. Just bring it up here so that you guys can see it. And what I want to do is punch in over that and record right here. So I'm going to turn off the auto cycle and start dealing with the punch. Now you notice my punch in and punch out, this one's selected here, and if I press I on the keyboard, they're both selected. Make sure that record is enabled here, and I can go ahead and record something in and start recording. As soon as it stops recording, notice that it deactivates. Well, of course you want it to do that because you're probably going to want to listen to that again, hit the space bar and listen to your clip, and you don't want to have it start recording again. So where you deal with that is you go into the edit and preferences and go down here to record and deactivate punch in on stop, and then it won't do that anymore. Now the other thing is, when Cubase is in, it's when you first open it up after installing it, the default preferences. Let's say that you have a little bit of, let me just pull up a little this clip right here and put it next to it, and I'm going to solo this one. And when your guitar or whatever instrument you have plugged in here is you won't be able to hear this part until it actually starts recording here. So that really doesn't work out. So if I play this, you can see I got it set up that it's going to go ahead and do that. And it will go silent right here because I don't have anything. I'm not recording anything. So what I'm going to do is get that back, delete that. So where you deal with that preference is you go here into edit, preferences, and we want to go to, let me just find it here again. VST, and you're going to change this. It's going to be, I think it's on manual. You want to change that to tape machine style, and then it will do that procedure of playing the clip before, and then when it gets to the punch in, it's all yours. You can take over, and then after punch in is done, it'll keep playing the other thing. So what I wanted to show you is like a workflow, because this is what I do a lot, and I don't know if you do this, but this is usually how it goes. So what I'm doing is I'll press the I key and I'll start recording in a part and recording. Oh no, I made a mistake. So now I have this clip right here, and it's, I have to delete it and start over. So what I'm going to do is turn off the, go over to edit, turn off auto select events under cursor, because I don't want to be using that while I'm recording, and this I'll show you to make it faster. So I'm going to press I again on the keyboard, hit space bar, and let's just say it's playing some lead, hit the space bar. I made a mistake in that one, so I hit the delete key, hit I again on the keyboard, do the space bar again, recording, things are going okay, and lo and behold, make another mistake, hit the delete key, hit I again, and start recording again. Now the default setup is the playhead to where you start is not going to work like that, and also the pre-roll isn't going to be turned on. So let's deal with those two things right now. So in order to get this playhead to go back to where it started, you're going to go over here into Edit and Key Commands, and right here in the search box type in return and press enter, and it will bring up transport return to start position on stop. So I've made my key command Ctrl Backspace, and how you set that is you click in here, hold down the Control key, hit the backspace, and then you click assign. There won't be anything there because you won't get this error message because mine already put in there. So when you're doing that, Control Backspace, so if I hold that, I'll deactivate it. So now when I'm playing and I stop, it just starts playing wherever I left off. Now I'll hold down Control and Backspace again, activate it. So now it's going to go back to where I started. Okay, so that's very helpful. And one more thing that is a key command, like normally we're zoomed way in, you know, we're holding down the middle mouse button, moving around, doing stuff. Well, instead of like rolling your mouse wheel or holding Control key and trying to get this back to where we're going, just press down the Shift key and tap F like Frank on the keyboard, and it will zoom out to where it fits your whole song in the window. So that's very helpful. So I digressed a little bit there, but let me show you the part about the pre-roll. So let's say that you have your selection here for, you know, you want to record this part in, and you want it to pre-roll maybe 2-4 bars, whatever you need. So you go down here to the Activate Preroll, and that won't be normally showing on a fresh install Cubase. So you want to go here to this cog, and you want to go and click Post Roll Preroll to get it back on. And then after that, click the Activate, and you can type in, like I have 2 here, so it backs up 2. And when I press the space bar, it's going to back up 2 bars, and then I'll finally get to where I want to punch in. So I'll press the I key, and I can hear some of what I'm going to record, and then, you know, record and then be done with that. So those are some very helpful things that I found while I'm recording that would work. Now the last thing I want to do is tell you about the automation for the stereo track, or otherwise called the master track. In order to get that master track to show up, I was looking for a few ways to get that, but it seems that one of the easiest ways, you press F3 on the keyboard, and you go over here and click Write Automation, and when you start playing the song, get the song back to the beginning, I'll just press the space bar, and let me get this back again. I was way off there. There's nothing playing because I got this muted or soloed. Okay, so I go back to F3, make sure that Write Automation here, and then press space bar and hit just move it a little bit, and then go back, and then you're going to see some automation written in here, and just select this, delete it. Usually what I'll do is when that happens, go over here. I'm going to do a fade out on the end, and then I can draw in the fade out. You just click here, it gives you like a pencil tool, and you draw the fade, and that works about it. Also, coloring your clips, there's a little gotcha in there. If you have a clip selected and you go up to the coloring palette and click it, then it's going to color just the clip. That's helpful if you have some different sections. If you want to color the entire track, make sure the clip is deselected. Click on the track and then click on the color, and then it will take care of that. The clip is still colored, so you have to deal with that. Get that off there. So make sure it's deselected, and let me try to change it to something else. So it's still doing the whole thing. So the clip is the one that once it gets a color on it, it's going to stay that way, evidently, I guess. I don't think there's an override, but let's just see if there would be. Let's see if I hold the shift key down, some kind of alt key. Nope, nothing. So maybe somebody else will figure that out. But that's usually how the workflow goes, and then you can make these larger and look at them, put in pictures, or make your own. So the very last thing I wanted to show you is, okay, you got your song together, you want to export it as MP3 or something, upload to SoundCloud or do something with it, put on a USB stick. So what you're going to do is select the range in your song. Usually you might have like a leader on here where you have a click or drum beat or something that starts you off into the song, so I'm not going to have that on there. And then you go up here to File and Export Audio Mixdown. I have mine set to Ctrl E. So if I press Ctrl E, I get this dialog. So you're going to want to change the name of your project up here, and where it's going to go. You can actually select that it will go into the project audio folder, which is kind of cool because if you zip up that audio file folder, you know, and archive it, then you're going to have your mix down of what it sounds like in there, and whatever other notes you have in your ID tags for the MP3 or whatever you have. So let's just go through here, select a few of these, take a look. Naming convention. Now watch what happens when I change it to MP3. You'll get this one that says codec settings, and this is where you check this one off. You can adjust your bit rate. I would suggest like 320 if you're putting it on a USB stick and playing it in your car or something like that. You can also decide sample rate's going to be, and in the edit ID tag, this is where you put in the title, artist, everything like that, and your comment, and then you export that, and that will show up you know, on your radio. It'll show the name of the song, artist, things like that. It's really cool. And then also on the export options, if you have a SoundCloud account, you can select this. It says after export upload to SoundCloud, and it will actually upload it there, and then you can add a few things there, put a picture on it and stuff like that, and then it's in your SoundCloud account, so you can share it that way too. So that concludes this very long tutorial on some helpful hints when I'm recording with Cubase. And when you're recording, maybe this will help you, and I hope you have a very blessed 2019 coming up, and I hope to see you next year and have more tutorials for you. So take care and see you later. God bless now. Bye bye.